14 unforgettable looks at the SAG Awards. Angelic gowns, Zoolander suits, pleated skirts, and more. It has been a busy weekend in Hollywood. On Saturday, stars paraded down carpets at the Film Independent Spirit Awards and the NAACP Image Awards. Less than 24 hours later, they were at it again for the 31st Screen Actors Guild Awards. The ceremony, held at the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles, honored acting achievements in television and film. Like other events this awards season, it also recognized those whose lives have been upended by the Los Angeles wildfires, including members of the Los Angeles Fire Department, some of whom walked the carpet in their dress uniforms. Other attendees' attire was more flamboyant. A handful of actresses, Mikey Madison, Brooke Shields, and Mocha Hoshi among them, chose silvery gowns that glimmered like disco balls or freshly minted coins. Actors like Jeff Goldblum and Coleman Domingo accessorized their formal wear with scarves and sparkly jewelry. But of all the looks seen on the carpet at the Screen Actors Guild Awards, these 14, for various reasons, stood out more than most. Cynthia Erivo, most space blanket. The Wicked Stars Ensemble, which was made of woven silver fabric that fringed at the edges, resembled a fancy version of the foil blankets worn by runners after marathons. The piece, in fact, was archival Givenchy from the label's Alexander McQueen era. Pamela Anderson, most angelic. A halo of side-swept bangs, the white shade of her Dior gown, and an absence of makeup gave the actress, a star of The Last Showgirl, an air of purity on the carpet. A single caped sleeve, which evoked an angel's wing, was another heavenly detail. Anna Sawai, most roulette wheel. Red and sparkly in the front, black and velvety in the back, the Shogun, actress's Armani Privé dress had the surprise and the palette of a classic casino game. Timothée Chalamet, most Zoolander. The complete unknown actor's ensemble of leather suit, neon green shirt, and bolo tie seemed as if it could have been borrowed from the wardrobe of a certain fictional male model. According to an Instagram post shared by Mr. Chalamet's stylist, the look involving pieces from Chrome Hearts and Cartier was actually a nod to a similar outfit worn by Bob Dylan. Selena Gomez, most rarefied. The Emilia Pérez actress and rare beauty founder radiated refinement in a dark décolletage framing Celine gown, a sleek bob, and red lipstick. Millie Bobby Brown, most glow-up. With heavily bronzed skin and bleached ice blonde hair, the actress seemed to be shedding any lingering associations to her appearance in Stranger Things. Her grooming, coupled with her slinky peach-pink Louis Vuitton gown, conjured visions of Malibu Barbie. Most leprechaun. In a green Hans Nicholas Mott suit and shiny black shoes, the actor, a star of The Apprentice, looked as if he could be cast as a new spokesman for Lucky Charms. All that was missing was a pot of gold. Most cosmic brownie. One notable quality of the Wicked actress's voluminous Tony Ward gown was how, from certain vantage points, it almost entirely hid her wheelchair as she moved down the carpet. Another, the constellation of beads on its dark fabric made the ensemble resemble a beloved dessert. Most Noguchi lamp. The actress, a star of The Piano Lesson, wore an architectural red Louis Vuitton gown that was both delicate and geometric, just like the sculpture artist Isamu Noguchi's Akari paper lights. Drew Starkey, most Ivy League. The Outer Banks actor had all the preppy basics covered in a Valentino ensemble of navy blazer, blue button-down shirt, and khakis. The pièce de résistance, a long polka dot scarf in place of a classic tie. Most coral reef. A colony of sea anemones came to mind upon seeing the spiky shoulder embellishments of the Ashi studio dress worn by the actress, a star of The Diplomat. Jane Fonda, most mustachioed. Covering the actress's pale beaded Armani gown were dark squiggles that each had the flare and wavy shape of a mustache. Otto Essondo, most not your dad's tuxedo. From the waist up, the actor, a star of The Diplomat, had the elements of a standard white tie dress code, but a flowing pleated skirt took his ensemble by Sivan, a label in Brooklyn, to a more non-traditional place. Most Fran Fine. In her role on The Nanny, monochromatic suits were a wardrobe staple for the actress, who is now the SAG-AFTRA president. If the silky blush Alexander McQueen's suit that she wore to the SAG Awards this year looked familiar, it's because she wore the same one to the 2022 Directors Guild of America Awards. SAG Awards 2025, Selena Gomez's Old Hollywood Glam is a red carpet hit. Selena Gomez 2025 Screen Actors Guild Awards look was master mix of radiance, romance, and red carpet elegance. The actress and singer, nominated twice at this year's ceremony, posed for cameras on Sunday, wearing a custom off-the-shoulder navy dress designed by Celine. The gorgeous gown featured a wide V-shaped neckline, a structured bodice, and a thigh-high slit. The Emilia Pérez star's ensemble also featured a small upper back cutout that exposed some of her tattoos. To complete the look, Gomez wore simple, chic, strappy heels, and her marquise engagement ring was on full display. She also accessorized with Messica high jewelry, pearl appeal earrings, and night owl and fiery rings. The Lose You to Love Me singer's gown was set off with classic beauty details, including matching red lipstick, nails, and a sleek bob hairstyle with tucked ends. Alongside Only Murders in the Building, co-stars Richard Kind, Michael Cyril Creighton, Molly Shannon, and Kumail Nanjiani, Gomez accepted the award for Outstanding Performance by an Ensemble in a Comedy Series at this year's SAG Awards. While accepting the award, Gomez kicked off her speech by jokingly calling out co-stars Steve Martin and Martin Short for missing out on the honorable moment. "Wait, we never win," she said. "This is so weird." Gomez continued, "Okay, well, Marty and Steve aren't here. You know, they don't really care. But I don't know what to say." She later added, "I genuinely am just so grateful. Everybody, the writers, everyone deserves this. I take it home for all of us, and I'm bringing this back to New York for season 5. Other nominees in the category included The Bear, Abbott Elementary, and Shrinking. Conclave cast celebrates with Timothée Chalamet and Ariana Grande after big SAG Awards win. As the cast of Conclave descended steps leading to backstage at the Shrine Auditorium, they got a fresh round of applause from staff and crew at the Screen Actors Guild Awards to go with the big ovation they'd gotten moments earlier from the ballroom crowd. The esteemed group of Ralph Fiennes, Isabella Rossellini, and John Lithgow had enough collective gravitas on their own. But Harrison Ford, who had just presented them the Best Ensemble Award, the night's big prize, also walked among them. He was among the generations of stars, including the night's other big winners and nominees, to congratulate the elite performers from the Papal Potboiler as they made their way through the behind-the-scenes winners' obligations at the SAG Awards, with an Associated Press reporter in tow. A photographer asked the conclave winners to stop and pose and shouted, "Get in there, Mr. Ford." Ford, not wanting to horn in, walked backwards up the steps back onto the stage. SAG staffers tried to lead the group to their next stop, but they had to wait. "I have to go get my purse," Rossellini said, and returned to the ballroom. Lithgow went back in, too, to get his wife. A whirlwind of stars congratulate Conclave cast. A gleeful Jamie Lee Curtis descended on the two before they left and gave congrats and kisses to each. Fiennes walked ahead alone for a moment and happened on Ariana Grande, whose cast of Wicked had been up against Conclave for Best Ensemble. "Yay, congratulations," she told Fiennes. "I was really happy for you guys, I was screaming." She then introduced him to her date, Broadway's SpongeBob SquarePants actor Ethan Slater. Next came a station, normally a bar, where the actual SAG statuettes are handed out. The ones they accept on stage are just props. Jane Fonda, the night's winner of the Guild's Lifetime Achievement Award, walked up. "Are you guys just hanging out at the bar?" she said. "I'm waiting for you, Jane Fonda," Fiennes replied. Fiennes pulled her aside and quietly praised the call to arms political speech she made during the show. "You nailed it," he said, adding that she expressed what no one is saying. Rossellini reappeared, gave a big hug to Fonda, and introduced her to the fourth Conclave cast member in attendance, Sergio Castellitto, who played the vaping Cardinal Tedesco in the film. "He was the conservative," Rossellini said. "I was the villain," Castellitto added. Enter newly minted winner, Timothée Chalamet. Timothée Chalamet, winner of Best Male Actor for A Complete Unknown, then showed up to get his statue. "Where's Timothée?" Fiennes shouted. "Hey, Ralph, how's it going? I was hoping I'd see you guys," Chalamet said. The wins for Conclave, and Chalamet threw a wrench into expectations for the Oscars that are just a week away, with Chalamet, Fiennes, and Rossellini all nominees. The presumed Oscar frontrunner, Honora, was shut out. Lithgow returned to the group, and when Chalamet saw him, he shouted, "Hey, John, not bad, eh?" A photographer asked Lithgow to pose with his award, and he held up fingers to indicate this was his third. "I don't want to boast, but," he said with a shrug to the AP reporter. A rush of photos and time to get familiar with their SAG statuette. The group moved along and signed show posters, then made their way to the area where winners pose for press photos. Actors always say awards are heavy when they get them, but by all accounts, the SAG statue truly is. Kieran Culkin made the heft the subject of half his acceptance speech for Best Supporting Male Actor. While he waited for the photo session, the 62-year-old Fiennes did some presses with his award with each arm. The 79-year-old Lithgow held his over his head with one arm as the photos were snapped. His wife of more than 40 years, UCLA business professor Mary Yeager, found a bench nearby to sit down after the long night. The group then stood for virtual questions from reporters at a news conference and made their way into the official after-party, where they got their statuettes engraved. Before leaving with Yeager, Lithgow posed with a group of firefighters who had taken on the recent Los Angeles wildfires and had been the evening's special guests, getting a standing ovation when they were introduced before the show. Inside the SAG Awards ballroom, the firefighters spent much of the night getting similar photos. During the first break in the telecast, they headed straight past Ford and Jeff Goldblum, who were standing and chatting, to the table where Grande sat with the Wicked cast, perhaps looking to impress their children with the photos. They later made their way to Ford, who wanted to talk with them for a while before taking a picture. With only actors as nominees, the SAG Awards crowd has a high famous to not famous ratio. And behind the scenes, it's easy to see things like Best Female Actor winner Demi Moore talking to Best Male Actor nominee Adrian Brody as they walk toward the restrooms. Both are also up for Oscars. The SAG Awards are also a union meeting, and this group, who went on a historic strike in 2023, were asked through flyers at place settings, a video that played during a break, and a pre-telecast plea from their leader to support their striking colleagues who work on video games. Executive Director Duncan Crabtree Ireland also spoke of the need for legislation putting strict limits on the use of artificial intelligence to create actors' performances. "As I look out at our guests, I see some of the most deep-faked people in the world," he said. Thank you for watching my video. World New Video.